Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing today? Well, today is Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so it's Tuesday, November 21st. And I'm off work until Friday, the 24th. So yay. I just thought I'd come on here and make a random video about whatever, you know. Sometimes I'm inspired to do videos when I go into other lives and channels and stuff like that. Sometimes things trigger me to make a video about a specific subject. And then there's other times that I feel like I want to make a video, but I'm not specific on what the subject matter is going to be. But a couple of subject matters I do have in mind. Today I was thinking as I was sweeping up my house, I just got through sweeping up my apartment because it needed it. I was just thinking about patterns and routines and the way certain people might be, like, or how they were raised, you know, like, I was thinking about how I'm so outspoken. I speak what's on my mind. I don't really care what other people think. I just go with it, you know, and when I speak, I never speak with any intention to trigger anybody or hurt anybody. I'm just speaking what's on my mind. When I was a child, my mom always said I used to enter the room like a bull in a china shop, you know. And in a way, that's kind of how I am with my voice. I come in with like a bull in a china shop, so to speak. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like people that can speak their mind and don't care what other people think. And then on the opposite side or end of the spectrum of that was my mother. My mother has always cared what other people thought of her. Me, not so much. I don't care what other people think of me. I don't care what society thinks of me. Because I know who I am. I know I am a good person. I know that I'm a hard worker. I know that I'm a procrastinator. I know that I do put things off, you know. I know I'm a collector. I know I'm smart, knowledgeable on different subject matters, only because I used to read a lot when I was a kid growing up, you know, and my generation, we had this thing called books, you know, and we weren't always inundated with the TV. We weren't always inundated with video games. We weren't always inundated with the things the generations now are, you know. I couldn't have even imagined having a cell phone back when I was a kid growing up. I mean, I guess for kids that are born with this technology already being available in their life, you know, kind of like the TV. The TV was already around when I was born, but like for my mom and her generation, she didn't even know what a TV was until she was 12 years old. She knew what a movie theater was, you know, they'd go to the movie, I think maybe once a month, and go see a little matinee or something like that, or whatever was showing on the screen, you know. But even that was, you know, something that you had to really have money to afford to go to, even though it was like dirt cheap, like a nickel or something like that to get in the door. But still, even a nickel back in my mom's day growing up in the 30s, that was a lot of money. But in my generation, so the TV came along in 1945, so she was like 12 when the TV came along. Whereas me, I was born in 1969, so the TV had already been around for like 24 years. So, for my generation, we were born with that already, So, it kind of just became a part of the just normal routine, It was just what you grew up with. Just like cell phones now, It's just what the kids grow up with. I didn't have that technology. When I was born, they still had AM, FM radios, along with either an LP player, usually, and an 8-track player. Then, the cassettes came in probably like around the late 70s, early 80s. And then I would say by mid 90s, I guess, was when CDs really started coming out. Oh no, CDs was more like the 80s, yeah, because I remember my ex-husband was into CDs, so yeah. CDs was more like 80s, So it basically went from records to cassettes to CDs, which was like a smaller record, But in the mid-90s, I worked at this place called Incredible Universe in Dallas. And it was like a big, I don't even know how to describe it. It was kind of like a Best Buy, but they didn't just have electronics. They had, of course you could buy all sorts of stuff. It was like just this huge, amazing variety store where you could go buy a refrigerator, or you could go buy a TV, or you could go buy a camera, or whatever, a stereo system, kitchen appliances, household appliances. There's all sorts of good gadgets, computers. Just, if you can think of it, they pretty much had it. But I worked there, but I worked in the camera department. I sold cameras, VCRs, camcorders, and I worked in the TV department for a while too, and sold TVs. Which it was cool, I didn't get a commission. I was basically paid an hourly rate, but it was cool. It gave me the experience of a different side of retail, I guess, that I'd never been in before at that point in my life. But my point in that was, at that point in time, they were selling these things called laser discs with movies on them. And they were like the size, like a big size, like a size of an LP, or, an LP. Let's see. So a lot's changed, We started out with the Atari. I had an Atari, and my two most favorite games was Space Invaders and Asteroids. And I eventually got to the point where I played it so much that I could just roll it. And it just, after you achieve that, it's more or less just kind of boring, But I never got a PlayStation. I never upgraded as far as that was concerned. I got my first computer in 1984. I was 15. It was a Commodore 64. You had internet. You didn't have internet. You had local internet, which was local bulletin board systems. Just local. Your modem was on the outside of your keyboard. It was dial-up. You had a separate disk drive. You had a separate monitor. There wasn't a thing called a mouse. I guess they did have those, but a little later with the bigger computers. Let's see what else. But yeah, everything was separate. The monitor, the disk drive. You had to have software that you uploaded into your computer that allowed you to utilize the telephone system to call another computer, basically. To what we have now. I have a computer in my hand every day. It's kind of weird. I'm 54. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in another 50 years when my grandchildren are my age. I can't even imagine. And my daughter will be like in her 70s. I won't be around. I doubt I'll be around. I mean, I'd like to live to be 100. but not in the world we live in. Not in the world we live in. Unless something changes drastically, you know? So yeah, just basically how the differences of, you know, different people, you know, even in the same families, how they think differently. I think it's just a part of who we are, you know, it's just who we are. But like with me, I was adopted, so my parents weren't even genetically related to me at all, you know, so there's a major difference right there. Like I said in a live today, DNA makes you, environment shapes you. So yeah, you have genetic makeup, but depends on the environment you're raised in as to the outcome of who you become as well, you know. But if people don't like who they are, they can always change who they are because that's their free will to do as they please with, you know. And that's another thing too. We were talking on the stream today about morality. Morality, a person's going to be who they are regardless of what label they put on themselves. So here's a good subject for me to talk about for a couple minutes. Morality. Where does it come from? Do you need to be, you know, is it born into you or is it taught to you? I think it's taught. I think some of us were born with it. I don't think that we need to wear a specific label to be considered moral or not. You've got some people out there wearing specific labels that aren't moral at all. And then you got other people that wear another label that are more moral than those that think they are moral. You know what I mean? Like you got a group of people called Christians. They think they're better than other humans that are non-Christians simply because they believe in God. Or worship God or whatever. You know? Whereas like people like atheists, they believe are completely immoral because they're an atheist. Because they don't believe in God. And it's like, no. Believing in God or not believing in God doesn't make you a good or a bad person. You know, there's good and bad in all, regardless. And if anything, I've met more bad people in the Christian realm than I have in the atheist realm. Or non-Christian realm, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so morals, they're, you know, you reap what you sow. It all comes down to, you know, do unto others as you'd want them to do unto you. Honesty is the best policy. You know, you reap what you sow kind of thing. Some people call it karma. Some people believe in karma. Some people don't believe in karma. That's another thing I'm starting to really try to learn about humanity in general, is that there's just so many beliefs out there that not all of us are going to have the same thoughts on, you know. Just like one subject matter, God. There's so many different thought patterns on that one subject matter. And so many people are divided over that one subject matter. So think of all the subject matters that all the people are divided on. And then you got to ask yourself, well, is this subject matter really that important enough to fight over or argue over or debate over? I think is what it comes down to also. Are we giving our energy away to things that don't even really matter? I guess that's a good question. And with that question, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the video because I'm almost at 15 minutes. So, if you want to leave your thoughts, leave them in the comment box. You know, if you want to share my video out, go for it. If you just want to listen to it and not even respond at all, that's cool as well, you know. You do you, boo. But yeah, think about that. Think about it. Think about, is that subject matter really important enough to get all riled up over? Or is it something that has been programmed into us to keep us divided? So with that, peace, love, nugs, hugs, got it, smoke it, and until the next time, y'all have a blessed day.